Okay guys, so let's get into the middle of our mats, ready for our mixed ability class. So remember to stick at the level that's right for you, okay? Let's bring our feet all the way together to begin. Turn our toes out, turn our heels out. Just gently rock the weight forward and backwards on those toes. So rock the weight backwards, gently lift the toes, rock the weight forward. Just lift the heels off the floor, the tiniest little amount to begin with. Just gently starting to get that weight forward and backwards. Now just focus on keeping the weight equally 50-50 through those feet. Pull the shoulders back and down as you continue to roll forward and backwards on those toes, through those heels. Fantastic, guys. Keep on rolling forward and backwards. Now let's find the halfway. Let's get our feet really, really centered. Bring our hands up into our hips. Just do a gentle tip forward and tip backwards. Just a really gentle forward and backwards tilt. Nice and simple. Even, soft. Find the halfway point. Relax those shoulders down. Relax those arms down. Bring the shoulders up to the ears as you breathe in now. And breathe out and roll those shoulders down. Breathing in, pulling the shoulders up. Breathing out, putting those shoulders down. We'll do 2 more of those. Just really lengthen through the back of the neck on this last one. Really tall through that head. And then float the whole arm up to the ceiling. Gently bringing the arms back down again. We're going to reverse the breath now. So breathe in to lower the hands. And breathe out to float the hands up. Breathe in, hands down. Breathe out, hands up. And again, let's just work through a nice couple of rounds of those. As you float the hands up, as you breathe out, soften that rib cage down towards your toes. So we're going to exaggerate that rib glide, that little extra kind of abdominal tension just from a simple arm circle. So do 1 more of those and then take the hands up to shoulder height and just keep them there, please. We're going to turn our hands out. It's that capital Y stretch, bringing the hands back into shoulder height. Breathing out to open, breathing in to close. So a capital Y shape. Again, we're still thinking about, as we open the hands, we're softening the rib cage down. Now let's go straight out, capital T shape. Breathing in and breathing out. So obviously take this shoulder range as far as comfortable. Any niggles in shoulders, just make sure that one shoulder is the same as the other. Don't force the good shoulder too far back without the other one going too far. Breathing out, breathing in, and all the way up, straight arms. So we leave the thumb on the way up, leave the little finger on the way down, but still breathing out to lift, breathing in to low. Just going to really make the upper back work quite hard to stabilize. We don't want to be arching that back, don't want to be flaring the rib cage at this point. So for 1 more of those, and hold those hands up there. Shrug one shoulder up to the ear and gently glide that shoulder blade down. Bring the other shoulder blade up and down. Keep on alternating sides, but please feel free to come down halfway and work the shoulder reach from there if it's uncomfortable to be all the way up to the ceiling. Breathing in to shrug, breathing out to rest. Both shoulders now, breathing in and breathing out. Let's try to really feel that both arms are moving equally, both shoulders are coming up at the same time and at the same speed. Now let's hold those shoulder blades down towards your back pockets. Turn your palms outwards so they're facing the side walls and then circle behind you, getting a beautiful stretch for the whole front of that arm. Rest and have really floppy arms. Just turn and look over one shoulder, turn and look over the other, drop the chin down to the chest, sweep the chin along the collarbone and look up. Again, chin to chest, sweep it along and look up. 2 more. Breathe out to scoop, breathe in to lift. Breathe out to scoop the chin down, breathe in to look up and just turn your head back to the middle. Fantastic. Okay, we're going to use our loop bands for the next part. Don't worry if you haven't got them, you still can do the same exercise. So wherever your loop bands are, guys, safely go and get them. Maybe a little roll down. Okay, you're flinging your body around left to right in order to get them. So we're going to go quite loose. Okay, so a gentle band, so medium or light. And if you've got a long band, obviously you just do yourself in a little loop. We're going to go roll down. Just gently step in and pop it around just above our ankle bones, and then just gently roll yourself up again. Fantastic, guys, really nice. Okay, bring our hands onto our hips, and we're going to just step slightly wider than hip distance apart, which just takes the band on attention already. So already our ankle bones are pulling out slightly, so you're exaggerating the arch lift of your feet in order to kind of provide that little bit of tension through the band, and also try to keep that tension now. So we'll start off with some nice easy knee bends. So we're coming down and coming up, just like we normally would do to squats, breathing out on the way down and breathing in on the way up. Keep them going, but you're just trying to keep that tension on the band. So normally we kind of ignore the ankles in a knee bend. So turn the ankle bones almost outwards, lift the arches up that little bit further. And for the next couple, let's just focus on the pelvic floor, okay? So squeezing through the muscle at that passage, lifting up our pelvic floor towards our belly button, but only about kind of 30 to 50%, yeah? So just a little bit of a connection through there. Let's go for one more, and just hold it at the bottom, and just do a little pulses. Nice set of 10, relax the shoulders, draw the rib cage up towards the tummy, and set that center. Last couple, 3, 2, and squeeze the bum as you stand up, bringing your hands onto your hips. Fantastic. So we're going to go for a little soft knee now. Turn the knees out just a little bit. Push the weight across onto one leg and maintain that lovely straight body now, and then slide and glide that other leg out into a beautiful straight line. We're going to do some standing side leg lift. So we're just literally hands on hips to try to maintain that beautiful straight hip line. Float that straight knee up and down. That's it, really simple. So it's going to be a really small movement here because the band is there. But I'd like you to start doing this movement and just feel what's going on. On the way up, most people probably find that bit quite easy. But on the way down, let's really control that leg on the way down. Don't let the band kind of pull you quickly down towards your mat. Really control that speed up and control the speed on the way down. Now again, really simple to kind of start bending that knee that you're working. Let's really try to keep that knee beautifully straight. Let's stretch out through that leg, and then just really quick, let's focus on the bottom leg. Is that knee just slightly turned out still, keeping a nice lot of tension? You really want to start feeling that in that side pocket of your bum cheek already, right about now. And then put that heel back down to the floor, bend through both knees. Quick check, make sure the feet look the same. If they do, fantastic. Push the weight across onto that leg. So bent knee standing, straighten out the leg that we're going to work. Hands on hips, relax the shoulders, set the center as you just start to do some really slow and quite controlled. And obviously you're going to set the band now. So if the band is feeling really, really tight, is too much, and actually you're losing control, like you're really having to work into that side movement, either take the band away quickly and continue on the same movement, or put the band down for resistance. It should be quite a challenge, not only to lift and lower, but also to maintain control of this static leg. Let's go for one more of those, and then put the heel down. Walk those feet in. We're going to roll down to the floor. Take the band, and we're going to wiggle that band up now to just above the knee. Step out, and then gently bring yourself up into a bit more of a roll up again. And we're going to go back into some knee bends. So gently down into the knee bend and lift. Now, obviously, the band is now in a slightly different position. We're going to work a little bit harder to maintain that tension, so you're just pulling out ever so slightly to begin with. If you want to stay up and down, that's fine. The rest of you come down and hold. We're just going to go one knee, so like a hip twist level one, pull it out to the side, gently let that knee roll in again, keeping everything in a nice straight line. Pull out to the other side, gently come. Now keep on going. We're going to try to alternate the legs, that little pull out and relaxing. Now stand up at any point if you need a rest, but if we can, let's keep on going. Little hip twist level one, but just in a nice squat position, breathing out and breathing in. Just keep it natural. Keep that nice belly button lift, soft ribs, relax, shoulders. Let's go for one more to each side. Really trying to keep the body still, just moving one leg. Equal pressure through both those feet, and then stand yourself up. Fantastic. Okay, we're going to do that one more time, and if you want to, make it a bit harder by raising those heels. So relax the shoulders, take a breath to set the center, breathe out into your knee bend. If you want to take it further, float both heels off the floor into that foot series balance. And now one knee out to the side and in, the other knee and in. And what you'll find is because the heel is off the floor, you'll actually get your knee a bit further, but try to make sure you're keeping the upper body as still as it was when your heel was on the floor. So really stabilizing that torso and just moving through one knee at a time. Now keep that going for 4 more, just isolating through those legs. Nothing else is moving. Last breath. Push both heels to the floor, equal pressure through those feet, and stand up. Excellent. And we're going to go back to our standing side leg lift. So the hands back on the hips. If that's too much on thumbs, you can always just cross your hands over in front. Both knees just soften down. Push the weight across onto that original leg, slide the other leg out, and now this band is pulling the knee inwards, pull outwards. So we've really got a bit of a connection through that bum cheek the whole way through this exercise. Straighten out that back leg, but I would like, sorry, the side leg, but put it behind you now, like 2-3 inches, just behind that straight line. Really lengthen through that torso and leg lift just behind you. 10, 9, 8. 7. They look good. 6, 5, 4, 3. Really stabilize through your torso, guys. It's just the leg that's moving. Last one. Bring that foot back in front. Double check the toes are in line before you put that heel down. Sweep the weight across the other side. For some reason, I'm moving along my mat. And let's go again. So we're going for 10, 9, 8. Sorry, leg behind you. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just gently in. Bring the knees and feet together, wiggle that band down, get it just in front of you, and then let those hips just be a little bit free and a bit released for a second. Fantastic. We're going to go to a standing swim now. So I'll go side on just to show you. Get the feet back to a hip distance apart. We're going to have our hands in front of us for this one, putting our shoulders still back and down. Long through the back of the neck. I like to just soften the knees off. And then we're going to bend in the middle, right from those hips. So again, keeping the tummy nice and strong, shoulders pulled back and down. You're going to just rock the weight gently onto one leg, and then slide the other leg out behind you into a beautiful straight line. So the back of the neck to the tip of our toe, really long and really strong. Now again, kind of keeping this theme in mind about only moving one body part. Let's lift that back leg and lower it. That's it. Straighten out that back knee. Really reach that leg as long as you can. Then lifting through the tummy, lifting through that soft rib cage. Tuck that chin in just a little bit. Really slow, really strong leg lifts here. 3, 2, 1, and just gently stand yourself up. Let's go across to the other side. Bend both knees, little soften, fold in the middle, rock the weight across the opposite leg, slide the leg behind you. Extra pull of those shoulders back, guys. Almost try to bring the breastbone directly through to that wall in front of you. And 10, 9 leg lifts. 8. So nice and strong. Fantastic. Shoulders back, guys. Put your hands on your hips if you want to, if they're kind of in the way. Put it wherever you want, really. We're not using them to start off with. Really get the back of the knee, back leg straight, guys. Working on a back leg, straighten. 2, 1, and slide and glide it in. Fantastic. Okay, if you want to, we can do that same exercise again. If you want to, bring yourself back with your band. Okay, so again, only if you want to start moving. It's kind of your choice on this one, whether to work on a bit of strength or mobility. but I'm really loving to focus a bit more attention on keeping that back knee very straight. So let's go again. Soften through the knees, lower through the chest. Push the weight across to one side, straighten out. Now, of course, the band will be really tight already, that's fine, but don't let that back knee bend and get lazy. So let's go for 10 and down, 9, 8, 7. Draw that belly button up, soften the rib cage down towards your pubic bone, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stand up. Fantastic. Bend the other knee straight away, soften through the hips, rock the weight across the other leg, straighten it out behind you. Again, the band has lots of different pulling in lots of different directions, but you're going to work on this straight line, straight leg movement. That front knee, keep that front knee just turned out slightly. Try not to roll that arch inwards. 4, 3, 2, 1, and stand up. And wiggle that band back down again. Fantastic, guys. Okay, let's warm up through the spine. Go to the edge of the mat so you're facing it lengthways. We'll do a couple of warm-ups before we move down to the mat. So go for an upper body roll to begin with, please. Interlace the fingers, turn the palms. Let's warm up the upper back. Roll the shoulders forward and drop the chin down to the chest. Float and stretch forward with both arms to shoulder height. Look at the hands when they get there, and then follow those hands all the way to the top, a big circle on the way down. Follow into a full roll down, all the way down, reaching to the floor. Breathe in at the bottom, breathe out, roll yourselves up, restacking the vertebrae, shoulders back, head up, interlace the fingers, chin to chest, as you roll forward into another upper body roll. So it's going to merge a couple of exercises here. So you know both these exercises, we've done them lots of times. As you roll down, take yourself all the way to the floor. Breathe in to hold, breathe out to roll up, breathe in, hands to the floor, breathe out, stretch forward, breathe in, look at the ceiling, breathe out, all the way back down to the floor. 2 more, breathe in, hold, breathe out, roll up, breathe in, stay looking at the floor, breathe out, stretch forward with those interlaced fingers, breathe in to look at the ceiling, lift the chest, circle the arms, 1 more, all the way to the floor, breathe in, hold, breathe out, stand yourselves up, breathe in, palms to the floor, breathe out, forward, well done guys, breathe in, all the way to the top, breathe out, roll all the way down to the floor, but this time bend the knees, walk the hands forward, and relax those toes down to our 4-point meal. Fantastic, guys. Okay. Anyone who's got sore wrists today, feel free to drop down onto your forearms. Just make sure your elbow goes to exactly where your wrist was, okay? We're going to start off with just some nice little swimming legs. So just stretch one leg out behind you. Guys, only when it is straight, then you get beautiful float to kind of hip height. Tuck the toe down before you slide that knee back in again. So let's go through just a real simple alternating of legs to begin with. Sliding glides, breathing out to stretch, breathing in to lower. Now let's keep on going, but let's set and just get our posture a little bit better as we continue with those leg movements. So let's float the breastbone up a bit further away from the floor. Lengthen through the back of the neck a little bit better. Unless you're looking at the screen, look in between those middle fingers, lifting the back of your head up to the ceiling. Take your shoulders down and away from your earlobes, almost pitching your shoulder blades down towards your hips. And last but not least, making sure our neutral pelvis is lovely and in line. So as we move through this exercise, guys, no rocking and rolling through our pelvic position. Now the next leg stretch, please keep it of that back leg. Now really quickly guys, lift your breastbone about 2 inches away from the floor. Get a bit more abdominal connection. Now straight leg lift, up and down. 9 and down. 8, 7. So it's really simple, just a little glide. Again, only lift it guys as high as you can maintain that beautiful lower back position. Yeah, that's better, fantastic. So I'm going to slow it down slightly. It's just a leg movement, no tipping around that torso. Last one, and slide that leg in. Slide and glide the other leg out. Now really quickly, whilst we're there guys, think about your belly button. Lift that belly button up, 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 up to the ceiling. Let's go for 10 more. 10 and down. 9, 8, 7. Shoulders away from ears. Lovely long through the back of the neck. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just glide that leg in and just sit yourself back. Child pose stretch if you want to. We're going to give the wrists a little bit of a stretch out because we have been here for a while. So pull the shoulders back. We're just going to do our palm to the floor. Hold on to the hand and just stretch forward. So just opening up through the back of the wrist, which we've just squished quite a lot by putting those hands on the floor. And again, just to the other side, bent elbow, and just give the wrists a little bit of rotate. So we're still going to be on 4.0 for a little bit longer. So again, come back to 4.0, but remember, please, if you want to, you can drop down to your forearms. Just going to play with some angles of our legs now. So we're going to go back into that straight leg lift, that straight leg behind you. But what we can do now is slide and glide the leg out wide, and then gently bring it back to the middle before you bend the knee back in again. So we're going to alternate legs, stretch it out, keep the toe in contact with the floor, glide it out to the side, glide it back in, and then slide it back to that start position. So we're going to keep on going with that movement. But the aim, my lovely ladies and gents, is don't move your back, okay? So as we do this movement, keep on going, you lot. But if you're a bit unsure, is as that leg comes out wide, your body will want to start to kind of twist and turn and drop backwards. Really, your job is to keep the torso beautifully still. You're only moving the leg as far as you can keep that really static upper body. So let's go for one more to each side. And then if you want to take it a bit further, I'm going to ask you now to do the same movement with your toe off the floor. So you stretch the leg out behind that original leg, lift it up to about hip height, it won't be higher, and then out to the side, back in again, down and begin. Now really it's going to be much smaller than when your toe is on the floor. So as you lift and start to bring that leg out to the side, alternating legs please guys, alternating legs. You definitely won't get that leg out as far than when your toe is on the floor. And obviously it's your aim, you can keep the toe on the floor, you can give yourself a little rest as child pose stretch if you want to, but I really want to work on those bum cheeks today and really stabilizing through that torso. Lovely, lovely exercise for stability around your spine. Let's go for one more to each side, and then bring your feet together in that 4-point kneel. Take the knees out wider, one step at a time, and then sit back. Just a little extra stretch through the hips because your legs are a bit wider. If your knees are comfortable to do so, try to also take your feet out a bit wider as well, but just be wary that having your feet out wide also can put quite a lot of pressure on the inner knee area. So just when you're there, have a proper stretch, a proper relax, a proper loosen up of that exercise, because we haven't quite finished on those bum cheeks yet, I'm afraid. But I will change the angle of where I'm working you. So we're going to come up, we're going to roll onto our sides directly. We're going to get our block, our ball, our cushion, our pillow, whatever it is that we're kind of comfortable in our side line. And we're going to consider our band for the second round of exercise. Have it available to you, so let's fling your body around in a minute. Be safe when you're picking up that band. Okay, straighten out the underarm, block, pillow, whatever it is underneath that arm, and we're going to start with straight legs. So really go to that beautiful, beautiful straight line. Bring our hand in front of us for this one. You will need a little bit of support. Make sure it's just your fingertips and you're really not crushing too much craziness into the floor. All right, flex the ankles and then look down the body. You should just be able to see your feet. And then if you point your toes, they should disappear. That's kind of how we know we're in a lovely straight line. Double leg lifts to begin. So we're going to go for one leg lift up, just hip height, not too high. The second thigh lifts to meet that underleg, and then they both gently come down together. If you want a breath pattern, we'll go for a breath in to lift, a breath out for that second leg lift. Breathe in to hold ourselves up there, and then breathe out, slowly lower both legs down at the same time. So we're going to keep on going with those nice and gentle movements. Lift and lowers. Hold it at the top either for a whole breath in or just a split second, just to know that you've got control of this move. So let's keep on going for a couple of these leg lifts, double leg lifts, lifting all the way up and down. Now guys, really, I can think of those toes are starting to turn like this to touch. Let's get the thighs working. So really make it a thigh lift. Let's get that top hip long. We don't want to be using into that waist. So really focus on lengthening through that top leg. Pull that top shoulder down and away. And let's go for one more of those. Let's try to limit the amount of movement happening at the upper body. Now hold it there. Now really stretch and straighten both legs out now. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Both legs lift up and down at the same time, 5 times to finish. All the way up, all the way down. 4 and down, 3 and down, 2, lastly 1 and rest. Bend those knees in, just rest everything off for a second. Take the loop bands now, float those feet up. You should be able to kind of wiggle it around the ankles quite comfortably without losing too much of your upper body position. And then straighten out both legs. Now we're going to do just the top leg. We're going to work on some circles, okay? So if you want to take the band away, please feel free to do so. Try to bring your hand onto hips for a bit of a balance element here. But all we're doing is lifting and lowering that top leg into some nice simple circles. No bigger than like a dinner plate. We're going to do 10 forward and 10 backwards. Honestly, as if you lift, obviously there's a little bit more tension because the band is there, but you don't lose the tension completely at the bottom. This should be quite difficult. If you need to, just unhook that top foot and continue with our nice circles. This is really a hip dominant class so far today, guys. So anyone with those hips in the room, just be nice to yourself, okay? Just be kind. Okay, reverse that circle if you haven't already. 10 and down, 9 and down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We should have a nice burn in that top one. 2 and 1, and rest those legs all the way down. Bend the knees in again and give that top hip a little pat out, little massage. It's literally just starting to move that lactic acid fill, and that's where that kind of soreness starts to creep in. Okay, we're going to do one little quick upper body mobilizer. We're going to side lying bow and arrow. So get those arms out in front of you, crocodile arms, completely fixed hips. And all we're going to do is take that top hand up just to shoulder height. You draw that hand back like you're pulling a bow and arrow, and just turn and roll off that pillow if you can. Now when you're back here, please think about the top hip and push that top hip bone forward, really maximising our spine twist. And then reach that hand back up, keeping it, if we can, just to shoulder height. Let's go for 5 more. Breathing out to pull back, pushing that top hip forward, breathing in to reach forward. So breathing out to pull back, breathing in to reach forward. 3, 2. Try to get that extra hip twist if you can, just a little bit more work on mobilizing that spine. Last one, rest your hands down, push yourself up, probably unhook the band to have it back in front of you, sweep the legs around to the other side, take the pillow, block or ball, outstretch the underarm, well done guys, pop your head back down again, and bend both those knees. Let's set the upper body, shoulders back and down, soft rib cage, straighten out that leg. If you need to, check, flex and point those ankles. Hand in front for the first one, pull the shoulder back and down. Let's make that top hip lovely and long as we lift the top leg just to hip height. Float the bottom thigh up, hold for our breath in, and then gently lower ourselves all the way back down. So breathing out, and in, hold before we gently lower back down. Fantastic. Breathing out. Breathe in to hold. Gently lower ourselves down. Going. So again, we're still trying to really focus on it being a thigh lift. Keep those toes pointing straight and directly out rather than twisting and turning them back in together. Let's keep that lovely movement. Now the hand is in front of you to support the upper body, but let's really try to keep it as limited workload through that torso as you can, and it's just working on those legs. Again, don't go too high. Too high in that leg will start your hip and actually your lower back to start kind of clicking and working too hard. We want to make sure it's just the legs. Let's go for one more of those. Fantastic. And then double legs. Again, lift them all the way up and all the way down. Let's go for 5 and down. Really lengthening through both of those legs. If your head is wobbling around, you've got to take a bit more control through that torso. 2 and 1. Fantastic. Bend those knees up. Then give yourselves a little bit of a pat out. Take your loop band, float both those feet up, hook it. Gently, slowly take your time around your ankle and then stretch that leg out. So again, if we can, let's try to do a little bit more balance on this one. So top hand on top hip. Draw that ear and shoulder as far away as you can. Soften through the rib cage. And let's go for our circles. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reverse it. Lovely. 10, 9, 8, 7, good. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bend those knees. Definitely give your top hip a bit of a pat and a massage out. That will be feeling a lot of work there. Let's take that top arm and the bottom arm in front of us now for a little bow and arrow. Take that top hip, guys. Exaggerate that length through here. Create a little space underneath your waist. Know that you've got a lovely straight torso as you pull your hands back into our bow and arrow, pushing that top hip forward as we go, and then reaching forward, breathing out to pull back, breathing in to come forward, breathing out, big twist. Let's try to get your breastbone pointing to the ceiling, and as you reach forward, your breastbone draws all the way almost down to the floor. Last 2, breathing out and breathing in. Draw back, pull back on that bow, reach and rest. Fantastic. Let's go on to our backs now. On to our backs. I'm going to keep the pillow underneath my head on my cushion at this point. We're going to go for a 1-leg stretch. Now guys, I'm going to take you all the way up now, all the way to level 5. So again, it's really important that we're focusing on our lower back. So let's get ourselves set. Bring our hands onto our hips. Feet hip distance apart. Yeah, start feet together, turn the toes out, turn the heels out. And just start rocking that pelvis backwards and forwards. So you're really, really gently Getting your brain engaged with where your lower back is. Okay, so let's really start to work on that. Nice and easy. Because when you find your neutral pelvis all through this next exercise, you've got to keep it really steady there. Let's find our halfway point between our forwards and our backwards tilts, or where you know that your neutral is. Think about that space underneath your lower back. Some of you may be able to slide your hand under and feel it. But remember, don't lift the back to put your hand there, because it completely goes against what we're trying to do. Think about that space. Now, all the way through the next round, I'm going to try to get you to keep that there. You're going to go straight to level 2. So bring your hands up like diamond-shaped hands. Put your thumb to your belly button, your fingertips to your pubic bone, the heels of your hands out to your hip bones, and your elbows on the floor. This is also going to help us. Bring one leg up to a single leg tabletop. Stretch it away so the thighs stay in line. Bring it back to tabletop. Put the foot down and check your lower back hasn't moved. Let's set the center as the second leg comes up in the air. Stretched away so the thighs are in line. Bring it back gently and lower it back down. Again, checking the lower back hasn't moved anywhere. So this is our first option of exercise, breathing out and breathing in, just really gently through the movement. Don't force it just yet. But most of you want to go up to level 3. So let's take one leg up into a single leg tabletop, identify where that lower back position is, deepen your abdominal connection, and then float that second leg up into the air. So our one leg stretch, level 3, now is 2 alternating legs, still the same angle, 45 degrees, reaching almost probably in your house to where your ceiling meets your wall, breathing out to stretch and breathing in to come back, breathing out to stretch and breathing in to come back. So I really like you to keep that breath pattern going if you can. A nice little one leg stretch, level 3. So keep on going, breathing out and breathing in. Really, really nice. Now, hold tabletop, please. We'll take you to level 4 straight away. So it's just changing our breath. So stretch one leg away. Quick change those legs over. Quick change. So rather than being one leg at a time, both legs are moving. Now breathe in through 2 leg movements and breathe out through 2 leg movements. So breathing in, breathing out, breathing out. Exaggerate it. You're really trying to keep the leg just coming to hip, knee over hip. So just to our beautiful square tabletop. No Jane Fondas in the room. Let's keep the knees away from those. They look great, guys. Well done. Breathing out, breathing in. You should start to feel some good old-fashioned fatigue through your torso. Nothing in the lower back. Last one. Hug both your knees up into your chest and just hold it there for a second. Let the lower back really rest away. Good. Okay, so far so fantastic. We've got three little variations here of exercise we can do. I'd like to take us up to level 5, but I'm going to give you a little preparation level just to warm up and make sure we're happy and safe there. So take the block, band, whatever it is, block just from underneath your head. Interlace both those fingers, pop them behind the head, and float your elbows up just so you can see them in your peripheral vision. Keep them there. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Now double check those feet so our hip distance apart. Chin into the chest, using the hands to help guide you. Now use that rib cage, draw down towards your pubic bone. Think at the top here, what's my lower back doing? I still want that beautiful little space underneath there. And then gently reverse it down. So 2 movements is chin to the chest, breastbone floats, hold for the breath in. And as you breathe out, rib cage drops back, head comes down last. Let's keep on going, a little quicker now. Breathing out to lift, breathing in to lower. Breathing out to lift, breathing in to lower. So 2 movements, chin to chest, then the breastbone floats, then reverse down. Keep on going. But I'd love you to now try, guys, to float your hands just off the floor and keep the head and neck movement the same. Chin to chest, breastbone floats. Check the lower back position before you unfold yourself. Head comes down last. Breathing out to lift, breathing in to lower. Exaggerate that exhale and down. Now, if that's too uncomfortable with both hands off the floor on the neck, I'll give you a variation for your head and your hands in a bit. Let's lower our head down, lower our arms down, and then let's recap. We've got level 2 one leg stretch, which is our single leg. Everybody get that second leg up to double leg tabletop if you're going for level 3, which is one leg at a time. Breathing out and breathing in. Most of you are going for the quick change, but to take us up to level 5, left hand on the outside of your left knee, right hand on the top of your left knee. So both hands are on that same leg. Now switch those hands over and switch those hands over. This is what our hands are going to do. So hold on to the left knee, straighten out that right leg, lift into the ab prep, breathe in through 2 leg movements, breathe out through 2 leg movements. Now keep on going through that breath. Now if you need stability through the head, just do the leg movement and keep the hands behind the head. Breathing in through 2 leg movements, breathing out through 2 leg movements. So a nice little 1 leg stretch, level 5, breathing in through 2, breathing out through 2. Let's get the breastbone high. Double check the lower back is stable and keep the knee just over the hip. Don't be tempted to hug that knee into the chest. Let's go for 1 more breath in and out. Excellent. Drop the head and hug the knees into the chest. Fantastic. Well done, guys. Really, really lovely. Excellent. Bring those feet down to the floor. Make sure you've got a nice bit of room behind your head. I'm going to get you to some shoulder bridging now, but really exaggerate that beautiful spinal stretch, just taking us towards our cool down. Okay, heels in close to your bottom. Let's put the ball between the knees. I want to keep you really stable and straight on this one. It's just going to be a shoulder bridge level 1 with a little modification. Roll into your backwards tilt. Squeeze those sit bones together. Peel the vertebrae off the floor. Stop when the rib cage starts to lift by itself. Now take the hands all the way behind you. Lower those arms, hands, shoulders all the way to the floor. Now keeping those arms there, lower the rib cage down 1 vertebrae at a time. Try to really keep those shoulders down and back, and then pull the shoulders back and down as the hands return. Fantastic. Keep on going with that. So it's a shoulder bridge, then it's the arms. We roll down with the shoulder bridge. Then lastly, the arms come back. Now keep on going. Now if you haven't got the range in your shoulder, I'd like you to do a shoulder bridge. Take just the forearms up and turn the hands outwards like a dumb waiter before you bring them back and then lower yourself down again. So hips up, hands up, turn the palms out, palms in, then lower. But everybody else, if you have got that shoulder range, let's go through that beautiful whole body. Arms come down up. Let's do 1 more. Really exaggerate that beautiful spine stretch. Breathe in. Breathe out through that movement down. Drop the ball and take both legs out, stretched out as one. So arms out behind you, legs out in front of you, and just give yourselves this beautiful big stretch. Really take yourself through that movement. Breathe in, breathe out, hold. Stretch your fingertips, stretch heels away. And then bring those hands back gently, back down to your side. Bring one heel in, the second heel in. And we're going to go onto our tummy. So roll yourself forward. Gently turn yourself onto your tummy. Grab your block. We're going to go for some breaststroke preparations now. So we're really going to continue this theme about now opening our spine up. So our forehead is on our block. Our arms are long by our sides, palms facing the ceiling. We'll start off with level 1, just to set our centre. So roll into, now everyone exaggerate, a little bit more of a backwards tilt. So tuck that tailbone under, squeeze those sit bones together. Lift that tummy away from the floor. Now the movement is just arms and shoulders float up, in line with the body, no higher. Turn the palms to face your thighs. And then gently release the shoulders and arms down, palms facing the ceiling. That's it. Arms and shoulders up, palms facing the thighs. And then gently start again. You're going to breathe out to lift. Now reach those fingertips down towards your toes. And then breathe in to lower. So breathe out to lift, but reach the hands away. Breathe in to lower. Feel really like Superman. Shoot your forehead nice and long. Reach the fingertips down towards the toes. Breathing out and breathing in. Keep on going. Let's keep on going. Tuck the chin in a little bit more. Make the back of your neck really long. Imagine when I'm walking over you. I really want to see the back of your neck. I want to see that length through the back of your neck. Now we're going to go up to level 2. So the next time you float those hands up, the breastbone is also going to creep away from the floor, just literally 2 to 3 inches. Head will lift up as well, but keep in line with the rest of the body, and then gently lower yourself down. Breathe out to lift, turning the hands, floating the chest. Breathing in to lower. Breathing out to lift. Breathing in to lower. Now keep on going, guys. And your aim is to really exaggerate that almost arching of your upper back. You're creating this little ski slope through the upper spine only. Double check you've got that backwards tilt. So tuck the tailbone under, just almost flattening off your lower back ever so slightly. It will helpfully stop us from kind of dropping into that naughty arch position. Lovely breath out and breath in. Now, if you want to take it further, just a little bit extra, just reach one leg up and away as that chest lifts, and then lower it down as that chest lowers. So you're still breathing out, but one leg comes up as well. Breathing in to lower, leg goes down as well. Breathing out to lift. Breathing in to lower. Let's go for 6 more. So really take ourselves a little bit of endurance. Really opening up through that upper back. 4 more. Keep the chin in to the chest. Hit the back of the neck beautifully long. Lift the belly button away from the floor. So you're trying to take some of that tension away from the mat, from that belly button. Last one. And when you're finished, just bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Release the bum cheeks. I'm just going to take yourself up to very quick child pose stretch. It's a very quick one. Come back down to the floor. Forehead back on the block. For this time, our hands are going to come out to the side. Little 90-degree elbows, arms in line. Little stop sign arms. Fantastic. Dropping the chin down to the chest. Into a cobra. So let's take the legs now a little wider. So the feet point to the outer edges of the outer corners of your mat, sorry. And we're going through 3 distinct movements here. Spread the fingers, palms to the floor. Lift your breastbone up. There's movement number 1. We're going to straighten out those elbows. We're going to start really arching the back. There's movement number 2. Now lastly, lift the rib cage up away from the floor. So you can get this really big abdominal connection whilst you're here. You're going to breathe in to hold it. And breathe out, reverse. Lower the ribs, bend the elbows, then the chest goes down to the floor. Let's go again. Breathing in. As you breathe out, chest, then elbows. Lastly, lift the ribs. Now squeeze the bum cheeks as you breathe in to hold it. Then reverse it. Lower the chest, elbows touch, head comes down last. Let's keep on going. A little cobra movement here. So it's not a yoga cobra in the fact that I want that rib cage lift at the bottom. If we can get up to that rib cage lift and squeeze the bum cheeks together, we're protecting that lower back, which sometimes in the yoga cobra can be quite compressive. And we really want to be looking after and keeping our lower back, all those discs beautifully safe. Now let's keep on going, a couple more. If that's comfortable, when you get to the top of this next one, as you breathe in to hold, pull the shoulders down and really push your rib cage and your pubic bone forward. It should create a bit more of a stretch through the tummy and a bit more of an arch through the upper back. Then lower down in exactly the same way. Breathing in, breathing out to lift, breathing in to hold, drop the shoulders, press that breastbone forward, and then gently come down again. Keep the back of the neck beautifully long. Keep the chin just kind of in towards the neck. We can do one more. Last spot. Pull the shoulders back. Really think, curving through that vertebrae. Squeeze the bum cheeks to protect. All the way down. Hands under shoulders. Push yourself up. Tuck the knees in. Cat stretch. So we're going to almost completely reverse those moves we've just done on the spine. Floating our breastbone right up to the ceiling, shrugging our shoulders up to our ears and dropping the head so we're looking towards our belly button. And very slowly come out of that. Come into a beautiful, strong, straight line. We should feel quite mobile through that spine now. One more, held cat stretch. Tailbone tucked under. Breastbone to the ceiling, shoulders strong, head down. Just breathe, just hold this nice position. Just be comfortable here. Maybe rock the weight back slightly. Use the breath, rock side to side, just a centimetre. Find some nice stretch positions. And the next breath out, just lower down to that perfect 4-point meal. So we're going to stretch our glutes out now. I'm going to try for a little pigeon pose, but those of you who want to lay on your back, please feel free to do so. Just tuck one leg through and straighten out through that back leg. So if that's too much pressure on your knee, please feel free to roll over and stretch out your glutes, either using your hand or your opposite leg. That's absolutely fine. There's no right or wrong way for this little stretch. It's whatever's the best one for you. I'm going to hold that just for 2 more breaths. Really push into that kind of ouchy angle. You really want to get that glute very, very, very stretched. Moving the lactic acid. We've worked quite a lot hard into the hips today. And then switch those legs over, whichever position that you are in. Again, wiggle yourselves around, whichever position. Find the stretch that's most ouch and really press and hold it in. Really get the benefits of that stretch. Limit the kind of soreness tomorrow. Last breath in and breath out. Unhook. Now everybody, we're going to go to a high kneel. So if you're laying on your back, please gently turn yourself over and get into a high kneel. We're going to take one leg out in front of us. We're going to open up through the hips. We're going to do a little hip flexor stretch down. Hands onto hips, relax the shoulder, properly relax the whole upper body down now. Really, really keep that completely chilled. Massive tuck of the tailbone under. So really exaggerate that posterior tilt, that tailbone, kind of naughty tail, tucking it between our legs. And if we can, keeping the chest up, just push the pubic bone forward just a couple of inches, just to really increase that stretch through the top of the thigh. So you want to be as deep as you can into that hip joint. Take a nice breath in and breath out. Take that knee down, switch the leg over. Let's go to the other side. Again, really relax everything before we begin. And then isolate just a backwards tilt. That should automatically, again, hopefully give you a nice stretch in the top of that thigh. And a little push forward, but keeping the chest. Again, only if it makes the stretch better and still keeps it in that top area of that hip. It starts to go down your thigh, you know, it's just changing the stretch. That's not what we're looking for just now. Back down, okay. Tuck the toes under behind you. Really try to get as much toe under as you can. Gently sit back just a couple of seconds to stretch through those toes. Roll the ankles outwards just slightly, stretching through the outside of those toes. Rock the weight forward, hands down, sit back on towards those heels. Now really try to press both of those heels down towards the floor. Try to find a little calf stretch whilst you're here. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the hair. Probably drop the chin down to the chest. You don't need to look at me for this one. Just feel the stretch up the back of those calves. And then lifting the bottom slowly in the air, put those heels back down to the floor. Roll yourself up gently to standing, really taking the time to restack the vertebrae. Pull the shoulders back and down and lift the head last. Let's just go complete our cool down with a little bit of a stretch through the whole body. So just double check the feet are at hip distance apart. Let's go for a good old fashioned corkscrew. Take the hands, a big stretch up to the ceiling as you breathe in and release those hands, interlacing the fingers behind the head as you breathe out. Shrug the shoulders up to the ears as you breathe in again and slowly release them as you breathe out. Breathe in to reach, shoulder shrug as well. Breathe out, drop the shoulders and circle. Let's make it a little bit bigger now. So take the feet wider. We can almost do a little power breath, a little old school, yeah? Take the hands in front of you, soften the knees, and then reach up as you breathe in. Breathe out, soften the knees. Little cross, breathe in, reach. And again, cross the hands over the opposite direction now. Breathe in, reach, cross the hand over differently. One more, bigger. Breathe in. Two more. With a good fun. Stretching through the whole body. Breathing out. Breathing in. Hold at the top. Float both heels up as well. Reach all the way. Get as tall as you can. Chin in. Back of the neck up. Ooh, and oh. Walk those feet in. Narrow stance. Let's go narrow stance. Relax those shoulders. Pull them back and down. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Soften the rib cage down. A little extra tuck in. Pelvic floor lifts. Squeeze the bum cheeks together just a little bit. Hold that. Relax. Close your eyes. The rest of the day now, so take a second, breathing in, breathing out. Open your eyes and give yourselves a good old pat. Well done, you. Fantastic.